opportunities to score, clear opportunities in the first half. They didn't. It can come back to bite you. It absolutely happened today. But again, what a wonderful game of football. Two different styles, and only football can tell this story where you dominate, you play well, and you end up losing if you don't put a team away.
All AAC in the conference, first team a year ago for Valadez. That's a good way to get your name in that conversation once again. Well, as far as the women's game and part, we're done with that part. Christopher and I will be back 3:30 Pacific time with more here from Husky Soccer Stadium as the men step out on the pitch to take their chances against Loyola Marymount. Your final score in this one, Mustangs staying unbeaten. 2-1 win in overtime over the Huskies. Stick around, we got more soccer coming only on the Pac-12 Network.
A beautiful night in Seattle, and big-time women's soccer takes center stage as the Washington Huskies host number 2 Florida here at Husky Soccer Stadium. This match presented by Pure Silk. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ann Schatz, and oh, am I excited for this match. Number 2 Florida with that perfect record and a recent upset win over Stanford in town, taking on the Washington Huskies. You know, the Florida Gators graduated some huge talent, and yet they are loaded, as evidenced by that number 2 ranking. You got to keep your eye on this kid, Gabby Seiler. What they call her, or they should anyway, is Goal a Game Gabby. I mean, 4 games, she scored in every single match, and she is just deadly from that PK spot kick area and then run of play. She just seems to be around that 6, and boy, can she finish. She has that knack to score and really sets up the Florida offense so very well. On the other side of things, the Washington Huskies banged up last year, feeling better about their fate this year, namely because Amanda Perez is back in the fold. Had that knee injury last year, missed the entire season, and she is the linking factor in that midfield. She's going to have to be sharp tonight, score, and set her teammates up. She's going to have to be big against these Gators. What a great time to welcome in University of Washington head coach Leslie Gallimore. Okay, you are never afraid to schedule up when it comes to non-conference. Number 2 Florida in town. What can you learn about your club against this really quality side?
Yeah, 2 things. One, we took one on the chin at home last week when we came back from a decent road trip on a little Big Ten gauntlet we did through the Midwest. And I thought we had a lot of the game against SMU and gave up 2 kind of soft goals and didn't really capitalize or weren't as dangerous as we needed to be on the chances that we created. So we've talked a lot about how to be brave in the box regardless of what opponent we're playing against. Obviously, the Gators, Becky comes in here with a really good squad. They're always athletic. They play good soccer. So, you know, it's just another test for our young season. I wouldn't say our team's that young. We're a little bit a mix of both, but it's another great test for us, and that's why kids come to school here. They want to play against quality opponents. You got to be the best. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Last year you were banged up. It was a uncharacteristic season for you guys in terms of your record. What can we expect from the Dogs this year?
Yeah, and the team teased me a little bit and started out like 5-1 or 6-1, and then we went on a skid and we just ran out of people, and we took one knock after the other. We do have a little bit more depth this year. I think we're talented. I think we're hungry. It's you know, the same kind of Husky team with a little bit different flavor to them, and they're eager. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Leslie, thanks so much for taking the time. That's Leslie Gallimore, head coach of the University of Washington Huskies. Those Huskies will be taking on a very tough Florida club. We've got lineups, opening kick coming up in just a moment.
You're watching Pac-12 Washington, home of the Washington State Cougars and the Washington Huskies. Available on Xfinity.
Washington agriculture is all about growing. But there's one thing no farmer wants to see growing: healthcare costs. And that's where the Washington Farm Bureau can help. Washington Farm Bureau Healthcare is available to the entire agricultural community, which includes raising crops and livestock, but also food processing, ag support services, fishing and aquaculture, timber and floriculture. Find out if your business qualifies for WFB Healthcare by talking to your insurance broker today or go to WFBHealthcare.com to learn more.
You're going to have adversity in your life, and you got to approach it with a mentality that you can get through anything.
Here we go, full speed!
We're going to give everything we got, and we're never going away.
Talent alone isn't going to get you where you want to go.
1, 2, 3. We're going to outwork everybody. Push! Push!
We're out there to ball out.
Everybody in the team's on the same page.
We're hungry.
When we hit the field, it's all business. Every single play!
For over a century, the Pac-12 has been a catalyst for collective excellence. An extraordinary blend of 12 unique universities. Combined, we elevate team chemistry to an art form. Connected by geography, passion, and creativity, our student athletes continue to find ways to marvel and amaze. As standout performers and inspiring innovators, as future leaders and global game changers, these are the elements of excellence. Pac-12, the Conference of Champions.
Hi, I'm Vinny Spizzari, owner of Mr. Rooter Plumbing. We're experts at the plumbing challenges we face here in the Northwest. And that expertise has earned us some great online ratings and an A+ score with the Better Business Bureau. Thanks for your great reviews. And remember, when the unexpected happens, you can count on us day or night. Water heater problems, leaky pipes, clogged drains, we can do it all. At Mr. Rooter Plumbing, we want to be your plumber for life. Excellent service, honest price, Mr. Rooter treats you right. Call us today.
Pac-12 Women's Soccer is presented by new Pure Silk Razors. Shake up your shave with Pure Silk Premium Disposable Razors. And by State Farm, here to help life go right. Let the long weekend begin with a terrific soccer match. The Washington Huskies hosting number 2 Florida. Let's take a look at the Dogs starting lineup. Great to see Udovich and Perez back into the Washington lineup coming off those injuries. Keep your eye on number 20, Kimberly Keever. That woman has an engine like none other, and she will just make this offense go so dangerous in the 18. Scheimer will start in goal, the veteran for the University of Washington. For the Florida Gators, and Becky Burley making this long, long road trip, and this club is absolutely loaded. We talked about Seiler and those 4 goals. She will get up, and the defensive backs for this club will fly up and be a factor in the offensive third. As I mentioned, Becky Burley in her 23rd year for the Florida Gators. You've got 2 of the best and longest tenured coaches in women's soccer on the pitch tonight. Becky Burley, 23rd year. Leslie Gallimore on the other side of things with Washington gear on in her 24th year. And we are underway. The Washington Huskies in their home whites taking on the visiting and second-ranked Florida Gators in their dark uniforms as they control opening kick. Florida with that perfect 4-0 record. Statement victory just last weekend, the 3-2 victory over then number 1 ranked Stanford. First time that Florida has defeated the Cardinal after some gut-wrenching losses. Just a huge win. There's Susie Espinoza, the sophomore goalkeeper. Kaylin Marquez was everybody's pick to start in goal this season again for Florida, but she fractured a finger, and Espinoza, as Becky Burley would say, kind of thrown into the fire, and she has been stellar for these Gators. Florida coming off the victory against Syracuse after that upset against Stanford, and the Washington Huskies lost to SMU 2-1 in overtime. Coach Gallimore talking about those 2 soft goals given up to SMU. And Washington would like to get that straightened out tonight. Dangerous here. Oh boy, just like that. Shannon Simon, how about it? Wow! And I mean, that was struck from distance in the 2nd minute. Holy smokes, there's Simon. Her 3rd goal of the year. Great throw, and look at the space that Simon has. Seiler backing up and cracks it, does Simon. Let's take another look right here. Simon with the touch and then the right foot strike. Bam! 1-0 Washington. We talked about statements. Well, there's one from the Huskies. Oh, baby! Folks just barely getting settled into their seats here at Husky Stadium with Simon electrifying this crowd with the right-footed blast. Florida, no stranger to playing from behind. The late goals that did it against Stanford. This club will not quit. And again, so very talented. Rose, the Canadian international. Coming out of it is Simon. Seiler, you see the big brace on her right thumb, wearing number 38. Broke her thumb in practice on Tuesday, did Seiler. Switching fields, beautiful. Von Flasche will track it down far side. Araujo getting tangled up there with Conley. Let's take a look. Conley goes flying. The senior making her first start of the season. Araujo is the first junior college transfer in program history for Florida. And a dandy Brazilian native. Played her JUCO ball in New York. Tracking it down. Rose. Dangerous here for Florida. Rose. Dancing, dancing, and giving it up. Palaio. Beautiful tackle. Kiever just clears it. 4th minute of play. 1-0 Washington on Simon's strike in the 2nd minute. Becky Burleigh in her 23rd year. This is the furthest road trip. This is the longest road trip here in the Great Northwest that Burleigh has made while with the Florida Gators. And the weather couldn't be better. You see the Huskies pressuring the ball once it's in the Gators' offensive third. Here's a good look at Seiler and that big club of a cast. Washington's defense is going to have to be organized. They're going to have to talk. And Scheimer's going to have to own her area like never before. This is a Florida club that has scored 11 goals so far this season. Only given up 3, now 4. So it's a club that you would expect to score. Washington's probably going to need another 1 or more than that to come away with the huge upset. Who knows? Araujo comes out with it. Florida on the counter. A little heavy on the touch. Both clubs obviously losing players to graduation, none bigger than Savannah Jordan for Florida. And of course Meggie Doherty Howard as well. Those two, the 1-2 punch offensively. Savannah Jordan now starring down I-5 with the Portland Thorns of the NWSL. She had the 16 goals, 9 assists. 74 shots on goal for Jordan alone. Missed clearance, and Florida still with that ball in their offensive third. It's by committee now for Florida, and they're a fun bunch to watch. There's the ball hawking. You see Simon really pushing forward. No problem for Scheimer. 5'7", redshirt senior. Top 10 in shutouts. Last year she platooned with Kaylin Smith. Sometimes it was tough to see or decide who really wanted that starting goalkeeper position last year. Well, Smith is out of the game, not playing anymore, and it's Scheimer's job. Husky Invitational, Game 1 earlier tonight. New Mexico defeating the University of Portland 1-0, Game 1 of the Husky Invitational. Game 2 going on right now. Number 2 Florida taking on the hometown Dogs. Simon's goal in the second minute, stunning the Florida bunch and getting a charge into this crowd, and that's where we stand, 1-0. Huge challenge there. Nice gesture to get everybody up on their feet. Conley bounces back up. Here's the challenge we were just talking about. Boy, Conley really got clipped. So Lee's got her pretty good. Florida content to just send it back to Espinoza, and they'll build from the back. Pressuring the ball are the Huskies. Slide tackle there. Getting back, though, is Dadka. Just couldn't quite hold on to it. A veteran Washington club and a really young Florida bunch. Florida's got a couple of seniors in the lineup, starting lineup, but this is a young team. Switching the point of attack, Bonflasha. You look at the track record of this Florida program, it's really impressive under Burley. 1998 national title jumps out at you. A couple of NCAA college cups. All those SEC titles, goodness sakes. Long ball, dangerous. Just a little bit of a skip to it. Rose couldn't catch up. If they can get her out in the open space, she will be a handful. Deanne Rose, the freshman out of Canada. All that international experience. Bonflasha, we've been talking about her, number 6, the senior defensive Iron Woman since day one. She just has been a starter since she got onto campus, and we've been talking about her glowingly for 4 years now. I can't believe she's a senior. Washington will give the Gators room until they near midfield, and then here comes the heat. Pac-12 football final. Washington Huskies on the road and defeating Rutgers 30-14. All kinds of football being played today. And, of course, we're going to give you all the highlights of that Husky road win at halftime. Going deep, and a beautiful ball into space. Foot race. Scheimer coming out. Scheimer's got to get up. And look at UW clear. Bodies on the ground. A huge opportunity for the Florida Gators. Scheimer coming way off her line to deny the Gators and the equalizer. Let's take a look. Into space. Palaio really had a chance charging and took a hard knock, did the junior midfielder. Here it is again. Foot race. Palaio and Udovic off her line. And Palaio really took a tumble. Scheimer reading that one awfully well, but you see the speed of the Florida Gators, and they'll play over the top and direct. And your defense better be ready for it. Physical match. Good look there at Sarah Wilson, junior defender. Udovic, by starting today, has already played more games this season than the last couple of seasons combined. In 2015, she played a couple of games, 2 games, injured her knee, out for the rest of the season. The same exact scenario in 2016, and Udovic is back, the redshirt sophomore this year. Huge addition to this Husky defensive lineup. That ball blocked. Palaio again giving chase, and Sekra just dumps it. Solis. Rose just sends it right on back, and here comes Seiler again. The backs will get forward for this Florida bunch. Nice step. Nicely played, Conley. When Simon scored that goal in the second minute, she had so much room to play with, not a defender on her. Was able to put a little 1-touch, 2-touch together and then crack that right foot. I think it stunned Espinoza without a doubt. Minding the nets, but the rest of the Florida bunch as well. Florida again. Where you just love the fact that Florida just will not stop. What a beautiful ball right near that spot kick area. Trincoli has just a nose with the ball at her foot. Beautiful service. Here comes Seiler. Bonflasha, Sekra. Florida grabbing some momentum and relentless in their offensive third. Wilson. Nice step by the Husky defense. Hustle play by Keever. You can hear Leslie Gallimore talking to Perez. Amanda, keep your head up. Come on. Block and takeaway. Here come the Gators. The counter in full swing. Look at that ball into space. Scheimer! Oh, Rose barreling down. Looking for that split second where she could beat Scheimer. Instead, Sarah off her line beautifully. Oh, man. Look at this ball. Into space, you see the speed of the Canadian. And there's Scheimer. Rose, just a freshman. Played for the Canadian 2016 Olympic team, did Deanne Rose. Part of that bronze medal effort. She had a goal and assist against Brazil to help Canada win the bronze. Just a freshman, the real deal. '18th minute. Washington leading number 2 ranked Florida on Simon's goal in the 2nd minute. Speaking of Simon, cutting back, Simon with room. Simon looking to see if she's got space. Pass had no chance. Simon had that brace against Michigan State. Keever had the brace against Illinois. Roberts turns again into space for Rose, the direct style of Florida with that team speed. Rose looking with the cross. Palaio couldn't catch up. Nicely played, Bonflasha. Udovich. Last year, Florida won the SEC tournament and then went all the way to the Sweet 16 before they lost to Arkansas. Final ranking of number 10, RPI at number 7. Another great season for the Florida Gators. An uncharacteristic 2016 campaign for Washington in terms of wins and losses. They were 7-12-1, 2-9-0 in the Pac-12, finishing 11th. Banged up. Short squad, and here comes Wilson. Scheimer again reading it nicely. Udovich was able to disrupt Wilson just a bit, and there's Scheimer, so active, coming way off her line and owning that 6. Scheimer has been fearless. The missed clearance. There's Wilson. You'll see Udovich right here, not allowing Wilson to cut back, and then Scheimer mops up. Good look at Sarah Scheimer, redshirt senior. Florida fans wanted a handball against Dadka there, but we'll play on. Bonflasha will poke. And the offense with Keever with the speed. Keever very quick. You can see the team speed, or excuse me, the individual speed by Keever right there. Just 1v1 with Cardano. Good hustle play by Kimberly Keever. This is a good foot race here. Watch Keever just picking them up and putting them down. Corner, Huskies. Ooh. Simon so close. Check this out. Simon at 5'3", climbing the ladder there. It's going to result in another corner. Here's Dadka. Short corner. Right back to Dadka. Let's see if she'll get some kind of a cross. Nope. Bonflasha will tag it. Look at Dom, just teeing it up. So Dadka with yet another corner. We'll go to the opposite side for this one. Let's see if the set piece can work for the Huskies. 23rd minute, here we go.
Be gentle. Slow back.
Raymond Moffitt making sure everybody was ready and under control. Bonflasha keeping it in that 18. Foot race here. Nicely played by Perez, but they're going to whistle Amanda for the foul. '23rd minute. Here in Seattle, number 2 Florida in town. Shannon Simon and the Dogs leading it 1-0 on Simon's goal in the 2nd minute. Here's Keever. Beautiful ball by Keever. You know that was a cross, and Simon was really hoping to get a noggin on it. You like the idea. Huskies picked to finish 7th in this very deep and dangerous, loaded Pac-12. Palaio. Beautiful touch by Palaio, just a little heavy on that end line. Sammy Betters will come onto the pitch for the Florida Gators. So speaking of that number 7 nod for Washington, let's take a look at the preseason coaches poll. Stanford picked to win it all, but you've got UCLA, USC, and California knocking at that door as far as the coaches are concerned. And how about Utah and Colorado coming off remarkable seasons last year? It is just a very loaded Pac-12. Some great matches today in non-conference play for some Pac-12 teams. Oregon in the 89th minute defeating Oklahoma. Stanford taking care of Georgetown 4-0. Arizona over UCF, quality win for Tony and his kids, 2-1. But Utah upset by Loyola Marymount, 1-0. The Utes' first loss of the season. And here's the game that everybody was waiting for. UCLA outlasting Brigham Young on the road, 1-0. There's Leslie Gallimore, 7 wins away from 300 at the University of Washington. Gallimore with 4 Sweet 16s, including that run in 2014. Longest tenured soccer coach in the Pac-12 is Gallimore. Florida again, dangerous, near that 18. Palaio, blocked and cleared. Open field. Oh, great job by Udovic. Trying to thread the needle. Bonflasha. Keever. As Roberts slides in. Simonsma into the lineup. The freshman midfielder for the University of Washington. Conley making her first start will take a seat. Keever just punches it into space for Simon. Keever sticks with it. You'd expect nothing less. Simon. Beautiful ball into that far post area of the box. Coming out of it is Florida. Nicely played. Trincoli, and the counter is on. Going wide, the Gators. Betters. Again, trying to find the streaking Rose. Into space, into space, into space. Rose awfully close. Just a little heavy on that service. Smart play by Bonflasche. She will carry. Easy call to make there as Simonsma just got a little too aggressive there. Seilers goes flying. Again, Seilers with that broken thumb. Happened in practice earlier this week. She's got the big cast on her hand. Still able to play, which is great. Wanted to see her in action, that's for sure. She's scored every single game for the Gators so far. A goal a game. Nice turn. Solis. Monteagudo checking in. Great to see her back in action, coming off a torn calf muscle. Last year she had the 8 goals and 4 assists for Florida. And with Jordan having graduated along with Doherty Howard, they could use her scoring back, could the Gators. Nice step. $1-0 Huskies. Simon's goal in the 2nd minute. The difference at this moment. Scheimer has been terrific owning that 6 as Florida's direct attack has been pretty relentless. But the Huskies defense not breaking yet. Again, good team defense by Udovic and company. Turnover. Dangerous here. Florida wants to stretch you out, wants to use both flanks and use the middle of that field to link, combine, and get something near that 18 that Scheimer can't deal with. So far, the Husky defense, though, has been very solid. And you're looking at one of the real leaders of this defense, Bonflasche, number 6. Delightful evening here in Seattle. Temperature in the mid-70s. Winds out of the northwest, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour. Just a perfect night for soccer. Betters trying to start the attack. Betters again, coming off that ACL last year. Sammy back on the pitch. Tucker just chucks it. Redshirt sophomore. Has played every minute of every game this season. And played a ton of minutes last year as a redshirt freshman. There's the clear. Again, Espinoza doing yeoman's work mining the nets for this Florida bunch. Kaylin Marquise went down with that injured finger. And Espinoza, who played no matches last year, has been thrown into the fire and has done great. But Simon was able to beat her with that right-footed strike from distance in the second minute. And that's where we stand. 1-0, Washington leading second-ranked and undefeated Florida. And this is the physical match we're talking about. That's all right. That's just good, hard soccer. Keever doesn't mind. She just bounces right back up. She takes it, she dishes it, she doesn't care. Yudovic, nicely played. We'll see Shea Villanueva on this Washington pitch. She's got a big right-handed mitt herself, like Gabby Seiler. Ligament injury surgery in the off-season for Villanueva, wearing number 28. Araujo having a stroll. Very speedy midfielder out of Brazil. Yudovic. Keever gets a noggin on it. A little swing and a miss there, but Florida's able to clear. Yudovic. And there's Keever. Foul's going to go once again against Kimby. Quick restart. But Seiler's going to have to kind of backpedal to get things started, nearing midfield. That's just great defense. Counter, Huskies. Look at Dadka, just working like crazy. Dadka, the transfer out of Virginia Tech. Coach Gallimore not shy at all about Dadka and the impact she can have on this club. Got to step up, says Gallimore about Dadka. She's had a fine game so far. There she is again, ball hawking. Keever trying to find a streaking Perez instead. Both teams trading turnovers. Cardena will get things started with Seiler. Clever. Seiler gets it right back. Beautiful combination play by the Gators. Foul is going to go against Washington. This is a dangerous situation for the Huskies. Seiler from distance. Ooh, flick header, but right at Scheimer. Perfect service. But Scheimer was there. Monteagudo at 5'8". And actually, that was Roberts. Lots of room for Gabby Seiler. Oh boy, that looked like Rose was going to find that ball right at her feet, unmarked. Instead, it sailed right by her. Florida, though, not letting up. Monteagudo with the block. Nicely played by the Huskies. Dadka gets undercut, and they're going to say the foul, I think, is going to go against Dadka. Let's see. Raymond Moffitt having a few things to say to the Florida bench. The assistant coaches, I don't like that call at all. The assistant coaches have been on Moffitt quite a bit tonight. 39th minute, 1-0. Washington has stayed organized. They've stayed true to the game plan. They've been very, very good in that midfield, and the defense has been strong. Aisha Briscoe waiting to check in. Instead, it'll be Maria Gray coming on first. And here comes Briscoe. And Sapone onto the pitch for the Florida Gators here in the 39th minute. 1-0 Washington. Simon's goal in the second minute has been the difference to this point. It's been a physical match. We've seen the team speed of these Florida Gators. And we've seen an organized, synchronized Washington Husky midfield and defense to keep the Gators off the board at this point. Villanueva disrupting. But here again is Florida controlling, switching points of attack, and pushing. Von Flasche with the angle. Rachel Smith thought she had an angle on Von Flasche, but the veteran defender was able to just use that body to shield and let Scheimer do the rest. Ooh. Briscoe was thinking a touch there, had a breakaway. Instead, here we go on the counter. Nicely played, Villanueva. What a step. Seiler wants it right back, and she's going to get it. Has the angle. Look at the cross. Ooh. Keever. In the right place at the right time. Actually was Udovic. Florida corner. Here's Solis. And cleared. Temporarily. Aggressive tackle. Simmonsma disagreeing with the call. And again, it's been a very aggressive, chippy match. Let's take a look. Simmonsma saying that she got to the ball before Seiler did. on that tackle. Here's another dangerous set piece. Smith will find Seiler again. Seiler looking to turn the corner. Tight spaces. The turn. And blocked. Gray and Smith showing the speed as Wheeler waits to check in. Into space. Wheeler not able to collect it, fresh off that bench. Another foul going against the Huskies. Gators looking for a quick restart here in the 44th minute. Briscoe has 2 to beat. Briscoe with the nutmeg. Briscoe cutting back. That was a fun 30 yards. Sekra, smart. Tom using that far flank. Wheeler. Florida looking for a little late half magic. Gives it right up though to Gray. Gray in a foot race. 1 minute left to go in this opening half. Great hustle. Boot by Villanueva, gets a foot on it. Boy, you love the ball. Inside to Wheeler. She goes down. The tackle is clean. Dadka has been terrific this first half, finding Wheeler and playing great defense all half long. Rose. Nicely played, you know who. Dadka gets a foot on it. Somehow, some way finds her teammate, Briscoe, who dumps it out of bounds. 15 seconds left in this really fun opening half.
10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Udovich will just give it a ride.
3, 2, 1.
And that's the end of the first half, and a great one if you're a Washington Husky fan. Shannon Simon's goal in the second minute, giving Washington the 1-0 lead at halftime over second-ranked Florida. You want a goal from Simon? You're going to get one. Great throw-in by Keever, and Simon with really no defense on her at all, as Seiler had backed up to give one of the most potent strikers in the Pac-12 lots of room, and she beats Espinoza. It's a dog pile on that one, and it's a 1-0 Washington lead over number 2 Florida here at halftime in Seattle. A physical match. You saw the team speed of Florida. They are a fun bunch to watch. You get the feeling that one goal may not be enough. Washington head coach Leslie Gallimore slipping on the headset. Your take of the first half, that's a 1-0 lead that you got to take, huh?
Absolutely, you know, and I think when we get the ball down and we play, we've shown we can be dangerous going forward. But you expect an early goal for us that all of a sudden they're going to come at you with numbers, and I thought we weathered it pretty well. There's some things that we're going to talk about at halftime that we need to do defensively to slow them down a little bit, which is difficult to do. Like you said, they're a fun bunch. I remember that cartoon from the 70s. So they're quick, they're athletic, and this game is far from over. But I do think when we get the ball down and we play, we're finding good spaces to play in.
You know, you may have a few words for the defense, as you just mentioned, but all told, collectively, they played well as a unit. You got a lot of help defensively from your mids as well.
Yeah, you know, they overload numbers on one side, and they come into little pockets and find the ball and bump it back and then go forward again. I think we bite a little bit too much and leave that space in behind, so we've just got to do a better job, one, of getting pressure on the ball, two, not leaving that space right in front of our back line, because I think that's a dangerous area for them to be able to play in.
Leslie, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Ann.
That's Washington head coach Leslie Gallimore, her club leading Florida at the break, 1-0. Up next is our Pac-12 halftime report. Kate Rooney is standing by. She's in the big girl chair, and she'll lead the way from headquarters in San Francisco. 1-0, Huskies leading at the break.
Brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
For the best in live music, comedy, entertainment, dining, and gaming, the Emerald Queen Casino is the place to be. Boxing with Battle of the Boat 112, Saturday, September 9th. The driving voice of Bad Company, Paul Rogers, Saturday, September 30th. An evening of jazz and hip-hop with Queen Latifah, Saturday, November 4th. Only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Hi, I'm Vinny Spizzari, owner of Mr. Rooter Plumbing. We're experts at the plumbing challenges we face here in the Northwest. And that expertise has earned us some great online ratings and an A+ score with the Better Business Bureau. Thanks for your great reviews. And remember, when the unexpected happens, you can count on us day or night. Water heater problems, leaky pipes, clogged drains, we can do it all. At Mr. Rooter Plumbing, we want to be your plumber for life. Excellent service, honest price, Mr. Rooter treats you right. Call us today.
Hi, my name is Craig Haymoto, class of 1975 and 78. I'm currently employed at the Boeing Company here in Seattle. I'm an in-house attorney, and I've been there for about 33 years. When I was 7 years old, I watched the Huskies win the Rose Bowl game and decided this is where I wanted to come to school.
One of the most unbelievable upsets in Rose Bowl history.
I'm currently the stat crew chief for our football and men's basketball programs, which means that I, along with a great crew, will be at the games and record things like how many yards rushing or how many field goals were made, was that an assist in basketball. I've taken all the money that I make in my various sports activities, and I've added some money from my work at Boeing, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to start an endowment that creates a scholarship fund that's given each year to students who work in athletic communications. Craig Haymoto, class of 1975 and 78. Go Dogs!
We want to be in mid-season form right now.
To the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown.
The Drive, Stanford Cardinals football, Thursday at 5 on Pac-12 Network.
Sunday, join Mike Yam and Ashley Adamson. Keep up with all the major storylines from the Conference of Champions. Only on Pac-12 Network. Sports Report, Sunday at 8:30. Presented by Adidas.
Hi there, welcome inside our San Francisco studios. Kate Rooney joining you for your halftime report. Huskies got to be happy about that start, a 1-0 lead over the nation's number 2 team at the break. Second half action coming up shortly, but first, let's check in on the other kind of football field. Number 8 Washington visiting Rutgers to start their season. We pick it up in the second quarter. Huskies down 4. Dante Pettis bobbles that punt a little bit, but man, he would more than make up for it. Look at that run. It would end up being a 61-yard touchdown run, the 6th of Pettis' career. In fact, he ties the Pac-12 record with Deshaun Jackson. Not too shabby company. 10-7 lead for the Huskies there. And on in the fourth quarter, well, they would just open that right up. Myles Gaskin with 18-yard grab from Jake Browning, and the Huskies go on to win it 30-14. Not a bad season opener. Also in action today, Philip Lindsay in Colorado in a little Rocky Mountain showdown with a perennial opponent, Colorado State. First quarter of a scoreless one, Colorado on the opposing 45, but not for long because Lindsay would go 45 yards for the touchdown. He had 140 yards in the game. Beautiful night for him. Second quarter, Buffs up 10-0. Stephen Montez out of the pocket. He goes deep, and Shea Fields right there for the 31-yard grab. Colorado wins 17-3. Just one of 2 touchdowns for those guys. Now, we'll switch it back over to the men's soccer action. Number 10 Washington versus number 16 Akron. 36th minute of a scoreless one. Daniel Strachan with a long cross to Stuart Holthusen, who scores on the near post. Akron goes up 1-0. On to the 62nd minute, same score. Sam Gainford stealing the ball away, and he would put that right into the net. Gainford is an Englishman. I think they must teach them that there in the womb, because that is a beauty. Akron goes on to win 2-0, handing Washington their first loss of the season. How about some women's soccer? Coach Paul Ratcliffe and number 5 Stanford hosting number 10 Georgetown in their home opener. 6th minute. Cardinal wasted no time in getting on the board. Kira Caruso crosses to Savannah Coleman, who beats 2 defenders, and Stanford goes up 1-0. There was more where that came from. They're up 3-0 in the 78th minute, and Katarina Macario finds Caruso in the box. She slips past the defender and finds the back of the net. Cardinal go on to win convincingly 4-0, the final score. They'll go on to host Navy on Sunday. Meanwhile, no rest for the Huskies. They're back on our airwaves coming up Monday, putting in some hard labor on Labor Day. They take on New Mexico, and we've got the match right here for you that day at noon Pacific, 1 Mountain. But in the meantime, it's a beautiful night at Husky Soccer Stadium. Stick around. There's more coming up on the Halftime Report.
The Emerald Queen Casino and Brian Holquist Productions present Super Fight Battle of the Boat 112 with Garbansky, Vera, Reyes, Keys, Maldonado, Green, and Van Sicklen. Saturday night, September 9th. Tickets now at Ticketmaster or the Emerald Queen Casino. Super Fight Battle of the Boat 112. Saturday, September 9th. Exclusively at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Hi, I'm Vinny Spizzari, owner of Mr. Rooter Plumbing. We're experts at the plumbing challenges we face here in the Northwest. And that expertise has earned us some great online ratings and an A+ score with the Better Business Bureau. Thanks for your great reviews. And remember, when the unexpected happens, you can count on us day or night. Water heater problems, leaky pipes, clogged drains, we can do it all. At Mr. Rooter Plumbing, we want to be your plumber for life. Excellent service, honest price, Mr. Rooter treats you right. Call us today.
Every Saturday night, tune to Pac-12 Network for a comprehensive wrap-up of the day's gridiron action. On Pac-12 Final Score, Mike Yam and a revolving panel of experts.
Best of the best of Week 8.
Highlight all the big plays, big hits, and big upsets.
Over the middle! Touchdown!
From the biggest college football day of the week.
All he does is score touchdowns.
Pac-12 Final Score, every Saturday night on Pac-12 Network.
No timeouts.
No timeouts.
Touchdown!
No huddle.
No huddle.
Has a first down!
Just non-stop game action.
Cut down into one fast and furious hour.
And he is gone.
From online.
He just muscles it.
To the sideline.
There's the shot.
Football in 60 is the ideal football fix for the busy Pac-12 fan.
Football in 60, presented by Valvoline. New episodes debut every Sunday night.
Only on Pac-12 Network.
Washington agriculture is all about growing. But there's one thing no farmer wants to see growing: healthcare costs. And that's where the Washington Farm Bureau can help. Washington Farm Bureau Healthcare is available to the entire agricultural community, which includes raising crops and livestock, but also food processing, ag support services, fishing and aquaculture, timber and floriculture. Find out if your business qualifies for WFB Healthcare by talking to your insurance broker today, or go to WFBHealthcare.com to learn more.
Welcome back. Kate Rooney with you on the Halftime Report. You know how there's some of those sports that you know you could just never excel in? Well, for me, that's cross country. So I'm always in awe of the high level of competition here in the Pac-12. And this year, well, it's no exception. The preseason polls are out, and the Pac-12 women are in prime position. No surprise to see the Buffs at the top. They returned 4 All-Americans from last year's squad that finished 3rd at the NCAA championship. Meanwhile, defending champ Oregon comes in at number 2, and Stanford, Washington, and Utah are also appearing in that preseason top 25. On the men's side, Stanford's the highest-ranked Pac-12 squad. The Card come in at number 2, same as their finish at last year's NCAA's. Colorado's number 5, the 6th straight year they've started the season in the top 5. And Oregon, Washington State, and UCLA round out the Pac-12 presence in the poll. Of course, for more on all Pac-12 sports, you know where to turn. Look no further than Sports Report, a fresh new edition dropping Sunday at 8:30 Pacific, 9:30 Mountain. A couple things on deck this week include a full football recap, a look at Cal's new coaching staff, and, of course, it wouldn't be complete without the 12 best plays of the week. The place to see it only right here on Pac-12 Network. Now, time to get you back out to the field. Your second half awaits. Thanks for watching.
You're watching Pac-12 Washington, home of the Washington State Cougars and the Washington Huskies. Available on Xfinity.
The past was but a precursor. Consider it speculation, or merely just a warm-up. Now it's time. Time to huddle up, to move the chains, to show your colors. It's time to bewilder, amaze, dominate the highlight reel. You've sweat, you've prepped, you've put in the work. It's time to play. Watch on Pac-12 Networks.
Champions are created with team chemistry.
Through the right side, there he goes!
That imperfect mixture of unique talent,
determination, and risk-taking.
It's an experiment worth doing, combining advanced moves in the lab and in the stadium.
Excellence, innovation, and going for it every time.
We call it Pac-12 team chemistry,
and it makes us who we are.
With Pac-12 Now, you've got 24/7 access to all 7 Pac-12 Network's channels.
Left footer on the goal!
Live events.
Touchdown Washington!
Original programming on demand.
Mike Yam, back with you in our San Francisco studios.
With the ability to customize what you want to watch wherever you want to watch it. Set your teams, set your sports, and you're all set. Pac-12 Now. Download today.
You're going to have adversity in your life, and you got to approach it with a mentality that you can get through anything.
Here we go, full speed!
We're going to give everything we got, and we're never going away.
Talent alone isn't going to get you where you want to go.
1, 2, 3. We're going to outwork everybody. Push! Push!
We're out there to ball out. Everybody in the team's on the same page.
We're hungry.
When we hit the field, it's all business.
Every single play!
Pac-12 Women's Soccer is presented by new Pure Silk Razors. Shake up your shave with Pure Silk Premium Disposable Razors. And by State Farm. Here to help life go right. We're at halftime in Seattle. Washington leading second-ranked Florida 1-0 at the break. Moments ago, I talked to Florida head coach Becky Burleigh. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Can you share with us your message to the club at half?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we were kind of playing a little bit into their hands by, playing backwards too much. So we were allowing them to have all 11 players behind the ball. We gotta work hard to get behind them and then press from that.
The team speed that you guys show us, just so much fun to watch. Will you continue to play that direct style and get into space and test Scheimer?
Well, for sure, we'd like to have them facing their own goal, and like I said, we'd like to press out of that. So we haven't done that too much. I think we played backwards and square a little bit too much. They're doing a great job of pressing us, and part of that is we're helping them with that, because every time we break a line, we give them the ball, we play the ball backwards, and then we give them a ball where they've got all their players behind it again. But I have to give credit. I mean, that was a great strike early for them. I mean, what a shot. It was great.
So coming from behind, you guys have done it before, so good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. So the strike that Becky Burleigh was talking about came from Shannon Simon in the second minute. Defender backing up, and boom! Simon cracks one and is able to beat Espinoza. Another angle, and you see the foot of Simon. That's her third goal of the season, and it is mighty big from there. Again, second minute goal From there, Florida started really amping up the pressure, and it was Udovich and company playing very well defensively. Scheimer able to deny that attack. Again, Scheimer as Rose is bearing down. The flick header right at Scheimer. Tackle by Udovich. Scheimer coming up to help. Udovich, who missed all but 2 games last year, and the year before, same scenario, back on the pitch and playing great for Washington. So second half underway. Again, a picture-perfect evening here in Seattle. Florida, longest road trip of Becky Burley's 23-year tenure here in Seattle for the Husky Invitational. Earlier tonight, New Mexico defeated the University of Portland in Game 1 of the invite. And here we are, Game 2, the marquee event, number 2 Florida, taking on the hometown Dogs. There's a great look at the redshirt sophomore, Udovich. And you know Florida is going to come at Washington with everything this second half. The epic second half, and I mean late second half rally against Stanford, was kind of visionary in terms of what this Florida club is capable of. We'll play on. Araujo had gone down. I think everybody was expecting a whistle. But again, Florida in its offensive third with the throw-in. It'll be interesting to see the substitution patterns of both coaches. Both teams with deep benches, and they'll be used tonight the rest of the way. Switching the point of attack. Again, that wide field that Florida loves to use. Araujo leading it on this near sideline. Here's Julia Lester. Briscoe getting the nod, starting the second half, as is Villanueva. For the Dogs, winning that ball, Simon by herself. Simon at the top of the box, cuts back. Simon looking with the left foot, blocked. All started by the hustle play of Briscoe. Simon looked like she might have some space and a bit of an angle at the top of the 18, but the Florida defense collapsed nicely. Wheeler. '49th minute, early in the second half. Florida, number 2 in the country, and undefeated, trailing the Washington Huskies 1-0. Good look at Simon. She's got the game's only goal at this point. Sekra gets ahead on it. And it'll be another Husky throw-in. Betters with the throw-in. She had 122 high school goals in 3 years. That's nutty. 122. No wonder they're so glad, are the Gators, to get this kid back on the pitch after that ACL last year. Here's a good look at Betters, the sophomore out of Florida. Off to a great start last year when she blew that ACL. Rehabbed and back on the pitch. Welcome back, kid. There's a break for the Huskies there. Play overrun out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Jensen and the Dogs. Nicely played, Wheeler. Good anticipation. Here's Bonflasha. Into space. Little tap heat, back tap for Wheeler. Briscoe has looked really good off the bench for Washington. Udovic disrupting that play. And again, Washington's defense staying organized, staying home. Nice idea by Simon. Briscoe can't quite catch up. One touch by Solis. And the pick. Keever cracks it. Ooh, she wanted that far post. Did Keever. So close. Look at a step. Dispossesses, and then will take that right foot, put it to her left, and go to the far post. Keever, who's got the 2 goals, almost got Washington on the board again. Sekera retreats quickly. There's a good shot of Keever, the senior. Second team all-conference last year with the 4 goals. Sekera, it's news when she comes off the pitch. Has played every minute of every game this year as the redshirt sophomore. 53rd minute. The game's only goal coming in the 2nd minute. Shannon Simon, I think, really surprising everybody wearing Gator gear from distance as Seiler was backing up. And she's able to go over the head of Susie Espinoza. Espinoza only 5'6", but a good athlete. But Simon ripped one right over her head. Florida using the width, changing points of attack, looking to see if they can just find a seam in this Husky defense. Seiler turns on the overlap. Here's Lester. Lester leaves it. Miss hit there. Paleo gets it right back. Paleo double teamed. Nice step by the Husky defense again. Boy, Florida just does not quit on any plays. Switching the point of attack. I thought Betters perhaps would carry that ball and get close to the 18. Instead, her service was knocked away. This is a very patient Florida club. What a ball. But Judovic was there to take the angle away from Palaio. Seiler had threaded the needle masterfully. Again into space. This time Seiler trying to run it down. Sekera there. Clever. Seiler, beautiful ball. Just didn't have pace on that flick header. Rose was right there, but from distance near the spot kick area, there's no way that that header was going to beat Scheimer. Well, you just got to credit Briscoe. The hustle plays by this kid. Causing the turnover. And here's Briscoe. There is the whistle and the flag. Offside. Huskies. But how about the play of Asia Briscoe, the sophomore? Home state kid. Has been a real spark off the bench for Leslie Gallimore and the Huskies. 57th minute. Still 1-0. Dogs. Beautiful step. Simon. She's got Briscoe. Dancing over the ball. Still, it's Simon. Good team defense by the Gators. Simon probably should have given that ball up. And on the counter, here comes Florida. Araujo. Unlucky there. Palaio goes down as the collision was accidental. Wheeler got her. Palaio loves the ball at her feet. Had the 9 assists last year. Scooped it right into that area where Rose is so dangerous. Rose and Araujo have been very active this second half. Solis. You look at this Husky defense, they only scored 22 goals last year, gave up 29. Tied for the most goals allowed in Pac-12 play. That just isn't like a Leslie Gallimore team. They graduate some really good defenders, some starters in McIlvain. Kinzer, but boy, Judovic is back. She's healthy, and number 14 has been absolutely brilliant defensively tonight. Such a difference she makes with the likes of Sekera and Bonflasha. Just glad to have number 14 back in uni and back playing. Nicely played. Seiler just steps past Bonflasha. No easy task there. So the foul and a late whistle is going to go against Washington, and you see where the ball will be spotted, and it's right outside the 18. Let's take a look. There have been a lot of fouls. It's going to happen in the next couple of seconds. That's an interesting call, as it looked like the Gator player, Solis, had just left her feet accidentally on the service. But now, as you see on this free kick situation, Palaio and Solis dancing over the ball. Good look at Scheimer. There's the wall.
Easy, ladies. Hands to yourself.
Palaio, Solis. 61st minute. Ooh, little bender that Scheimer was screened for just a moment, as it just barely went over the noggins of the players forming the wall. You'll see here. Almost took a step to her right, did Scheimer, and then realized it was far post time and reacted nicely. Scheimer's been really good so far tonight. Nicely played, Wheeler. Simon gives it away. Palaio is just so much fun to watch. Another foul going against the Huskies. Jensen, as Roberts goes down in a heap. I love what Becky Burley said about Parker Roberts. Covers every blade of grass. Her engine is that good. High compliment from the great Becky Burley. Into space for Seiler. Sekera. Udovic saving the day. Seiler looked like she had beaten Sekera, and there's Udovic. And here's Briscoe. Doesn't have any help. Now Wheeler in the middle of the pitch. Briscoe gives it up. Oh! How about Bon Flash on that play? You see the strength of Dom. The step and the dispossess. Gives it up. Check this out. Boom. Wheeler, foot race with Smith. '63rd minute. Shannon Simon's goal in the second minute has given Washington the 1-0 lead that has held to this point. Another counter. Into space, Udovic. My goodness, has she been terrific tonight. Nicely played. Briscoe controls on the touch. Into space and knocked away. Smith was there. Bunch of subs coming onto the pitch for the Huskies now. Pang enters the game for the first time. Perez coming in along with Gray. Madison Alexander coming in for the Florida Gators. Keep in mind that the Gators trailed Stanford, either trailed or tied for the first 82 minutes of that match, and then defeat the Stanford Cardinal 3-2 when Stanford was ranked #1 in the country. So deficits don't throw the Florida Gators off. Cassie Owens on the pitch as well for this deep Florida club. Liberal substitutions in this second half, that's for sure. Both clubs. How many times have we seen this? Just the width of the field. A lot of coaches say they want to play wide and stretch the defense, but not a lot of clubs can do that just because of personnel. Florida can. Your defense has got to be fit. It's got to be organized. So far, so good in those departments for the Huskies. There's that long ball. Seiler will try and flag it down, and does. Cuts it back. Oh, Seiler, so clever. There's 3 dogs on her at one point. Woo, clever, 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 clever. Owens. Seiler punches it away, does Scheimer. And now the crack. Boy, Roberts really wound up, blocked. Here comes Florida. They're not ranked number 2 for nothing. Gray is going to send it right to Sekra. Florida bringing the heat, bringing the numbers, baby. The Huskies, save for a couple of efforts by Briscoe, not really doing much on offense the last 5-6 minutes. Florida has been relentless, cutting back nicely. Boy, and the Gator fans are asking for a handball. They're not going to get it, and here comes Washington on the counter. Getting into the scheme of things, Datka. A lot of real estate, though, as she's traveling down the center of the pitch. Far side, the Husky attack.
Lock on! Lock on!
Keever. Boy, just when you think you haven't said Kimby's name in a while, Keever just about beat Espinoza. Espinoza really held her ground in that 6. Defender, Keever, ball, all met at the same time. Ooh. Wow. Pang got booked on that one. I don't think that's a hard call to make at all. Just a terrific ball into space. Pang had turned her head. And the freshman commits the foul. Again, a dangerous situation if you're the Washington Husky defense. How long can you keep Florida off the board? Great shot of Scheimer, barking directions. Seiler. Ooh. One of the Huskies just took it right in the chops. Keever with the step and the boot. Boy, that ball was hit low and with pace. Dume-Neal getting onto the pitch for the Washington Huskies. You see why Seiler, we've just been saying her name over and over and over again. Box-to-box kid on that Herman Trophy watch list. You know she's going to be playing professionally next year. Started her college career at Georgia, did Seiler. Perez has got Kimby right behind her, and she's tag team. Loses it, so it'll be a throw-in for Florida. Keever had established herself. Whoa, here's Perez. Datka just couldn't catch up to the cutter. Seiler on the run. into space. Sekra. Nicely played, Villanueva and Pang. Just a miss hit by Espinoza. Kind of interesting. Perez was just lurking around the 6, and Espinoza chunks it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in for the Huskies here in the 70th minute. Keever with the blast. Blocked. Keever again. Right at Espinoza. I don't mind that shot at all. Kimby with some pace. Espinoza is able to put both hands on it and bounce it to herself. Right off the mitts. No rebound there for the Dogs. Nobody was in that 6. Keever hesitates and holds. Switches fields. Smart play. Jensen into space.
Lock on!
Dume Neal coming off the bench. Looked to be a scoring threat.
Lock on, lock on!
Yes! 72nd minute. Florida looking for the equalizer, and obviously Washington looking for that second goal. That would go a long way in the potential of a huge upset today. But a long way to go in this thing. Keever with the slide tackle. Owens will retrieve it and throw it in. There's Keever again. Villanueva, nicely played. Dadka gives it up. Seiler's got Owens on the overlap. Perez is able to disrupt. Seiler will go right at Pang. Husky defense loading up in their defensive third. What a ball to Seiler. Pang. Tough assignment for the freshman. Nicely played by Pang. But another set piece for this dangerous Florida Gator club. So here comes another corner. It's hit by Solis.
Washington substitution number 16, Indiana, Simmonsma, into number 17, Amanda Perez.
Simmonsma coming back onto the pitch. Perez, the Mexican international, will take a seat. 1-0. 75th minute. Shannon Simon's goal in the 2nd minute has been the difference at this point. Seiler. Oh boy. We have been calling these corners, it seems like forever, for this Florida bunch. And Solis again with the honors. The in-swinger coming. How long can you keep the Gators off the board? Smith and Dadka battle there. Dumeniel leaves it for Keever. Nicely played, Villanueva into space, far flank. Here comes Jensen. Roberts with the takeaway. Thought maybe Dumeniel would try to take a turn and face up. Pang, Dumeniel. Villanueva and company keep that ball in the offensive third for the Huskies. Foul goes against the Huskies and Simmonsma. Ooh, turnover. Dumeniel gives it right back. Boy, Deanne Rose, the Super Frosh, just absolutely tag team with 3 defenders. As Sapone comes back onto the pitch, as does Monteagudo. Ball ricochets off Smith, but then Dumeniel gives it right up. That could have been a great opportunity for this Husky club. There's Dumeniel again, tight quarters. Leaves it for Lewis. Chests it to Dadka. Dumeniel. Owens has done a nice job off the bench for Burley and the Gators. More subs for Washington. Bonflasha coming back onto the pitch. Simon as well. It's stretch run time here in the 78th minute. Undefeated and second-ranked Florida. The lowest goal total of the season for the Gators at this point was a 1-0 win in overtime against Florida Atlantic. Dropped 3 goals in comeback fashion against Stanford, 2 goals against Syracuse, the game winner coming on a PK. Gators will have to come from behind again, obviously. Simons with that goal. Simon with the goal in the 2nd minute. Solis into space. Rose leaves it. Araujo. That service was heavy. That was a good opportunity for a far post shot. Had that service landed at the feet of the Gator. Araujo. Rose. Rose again. Villanueva. If you're a Husky fan, you can't help but just keep glancing at the scoreboard. Husky players, no chance. They're scoreboard watching. Fans, you know it. 81st minute. Can the Huskies hang on to post a huge upset win? Gators, 81st minute, playing catch-up. Great defense there. Simmonsma, who's been whistled for her share of fouls, had the great step there. Again, the Gators just relentless. Owens, wide open on this near side, and she'll get it. Solis, leaving it. Owens again. Bonflasha will tag her. And there's the turn. Big hop right to Scheimer. Scheimer making sure. 83rd minute. Another deep ball. Rose. Knocked down. No call. Oh, dangerous here. Scheimer holding on to that thing a little bit too long.
Substitution for Florida, number 27, Mara Palayo. In for number 11, Marina Solis.
Solis out, Palayo back in.
In for number 22, Anita Daka.
Seiler has been magnificent tonight. Rose has been so dangerous, but the UW defense has been able to hold her in check, especially in this second half. On this near sideline, a great shot of Becky Burley tying the shoes of Seiler. Seiler with that broken thumb can't tie her shoe, so head coach Becky Burley is tying Seiler's shoe right on the sideline. That's just great. And Gabby back on the pitch. Boy, Trincoli, I thought, was really going to have a chance to maybe chest that down to herself at the top of the 18, turn and get something off. Instead, Florida will have to reload. Jensen. Palayo. Last touched it over that end line. 84th minute. Look at Simon giving chase. Boy, you gotta love that hustle play by Simon. Ball is still alive. Simon getting up. Kokoska. Ooh. A little bit of offensive energy by these Washington Huskies late. 85th minute. The counter. Here comes Florida. Lucky break for the Huskies as that ball ricochets off a Gator. So it'll be a throw-in for Bonflasha and company, and no hurry for Dom. Part of this Husky Invitational will have Florida playing University of Portland next, September 3rd. Also on that same day, it'll be Washington taking on New Mexico. The Pilots and Lobos met earlier tonight, with New Mexico defeating the University of Portland 1-0. 86th minute. Washington leading number 2 and unranked Florida here in Seattle. Trincoli tries to thread the needle. No can do. Gets it right back. She'll leave it for Araujo. '87th minute. That's great hustle by the Husky defense. How good has this defense been all game long? This is a terrific Florida team. It's deep, it's fast. It plays with such confidence and swagger, and yet here are the Washington Huskies leading in the 87th minute against number 2 Florida, the very same Gator club that had beaten Stanford last weekend, ranked number 1 at the time. Smart. Villanueva just giving it up. And an easy call to make there. Simmonsma carrying, knocked to the turf. Simmonsma, the freshman, playing beyond her years.
Press up, press up, press up. Up, 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 up. One.
And now you can't blame the Dogs a little bit if they glance up at the scoreboard and look at that clock as well. We'll see if Florida has the same late game magic it did against Stanford. We're trying furiously on our side of things to see if the Huskies, who have had success against top 10 opponents, but have they ever beaten anyone ranked this high? That's what we're trying to find out here in the 89th minute. Villanueva, who has been terrific off the bench, disrupting again, stepping nicely. Beautiful play by Keever. Keever is just going to carry and then hold things up. There is 1 minute left in this match. The Huskies 1 minute away from posting a huge upset. Smart play by Keever. Leslie Gallimore was lamenting the overtime loss against SMU last weekend, saying that we had to stop giving up the soft goals and had to be courageous offensively. Well, that has been true to form with 30 seconds left in this match. Oh, the crowd's just going nuts. They called that for the ref. And now it'll be a nice slow walk for the Huskies. 15 seconds. They'll just chip it into no man's land there.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
and this will do it. What a win for the Washington Huskies, upsetting number 2 and previously undefeated Florida. 1-0 on Shannon Simon's goal in the second minute. Folks were barely settled into their seats 2 minutes into this match when Shannon Simon took the throw in and had all kinds of room to move. There's a look at the senior. Check out all this distance. Seiler backs up and boom! Over the head of Espinoza. You'll see it again. A thing of beauty. Simon's third goal of the season turns out to be the game winner in the second minute of this match. An epic win for the Washington Huskies, defeating number 2 Florida 1-0. What a victory for the Washington Huskies, who go to 3-2-0 in the season. And this is the kind of victory you draw from the rest of this season. It's early, but when you beat number 2, that is something very, very special. There's Shannon Simon and the rest of the Huskies saluting the hometown crew. So that's going to do it from Seattle. Washington stuns number 2 Florida 1-0. A huge victory for Leslie Gallimore and her courageous Washington Huskies. For everybody who made this broadcast happen, I'm Ann Schott saying thanks for joining us tonight. We always love it when you do. So long from Husky Soccer Stadium. Have a great and safe holiday weekend. Huskies win 1-0.
The past was but a precursor. Consider it speculation, or merely just a warm-up. Now it's time to huddle up, to move the chains, to show your colors. It's time to bewilder, amaze, dominate the highlight reel. You've sweat, you've prepped, you've put in the work. It's time to play. Watch on Pac-12 Networks.
With Pac-12 Now, you've got 24/7 access to all 7 Pac-12 Networks channels. Live events.
Touchdown Washington!
Original programming on demand.
Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, back with you in our San Francisco studios.
With the ability to customize what you want to watch wherever you want to watch it. Set your teams, set your sports, and you're all set. Pac-12 Now. Download today.
Hi, my name is Leon Powell. I'm a psychology major and a sprinter at UCLA. My sophomore year, I started my own headwear company here in Los Angeles. Definitely being a student athlete at a D1 level gives you the experience to, manage time. I definitely think my time management skills since I've been here have increased, which has been vital for managing my company, running track, and being a student athlete. A few community services organizations I've been involved in are SAMS, which is Student Athlete Mentors. I've also been involved in BAC, which is the Bruin Athletic Council. I've also been involved with SCOA, which is Sports Camp in America, where I traveled to Tokyo for about a month and a half. While I was down there, I was essentially a running clinic coach, so I taught kids how to, run and the mechanics of track and field. Leon Powell, psychology major, sprinter at UCLA. Go Bruins.
On the field, on the court, defining excellence, creating champions.
They win their first ever national championship.
Among the great teams of all time.
The program's first ever national championship.
National champion!
Now win the tournament. Impossible is nothing.
Unmatched, beyond compare. In the lead, the Pac-12, the first conference to reach 500 NCAA championships.
Champions are crafted in the laws of science.
The collective combination of attraction, research, and pure compounds.
We call it Pac-12 team chemistry.
And it makes us who we are.
With Pac-12 Now, you've got 24/7 access to all 7 Pac-12 Network's channels.
Left foot under the goal!
Live events.
Touchdown Washington!
Original programming on demand.
Mike Yam, Ashley Adamson, back with you in our San Francisco studios.
With the ability to customize what you want to watch wherever you want to watch it. Set your teams, set your sports, and you're all set. Pac-12 Now. Download today.
I'm Joe Dykstra, head swimming and diving coach at the University of Utah, and you're watching Pac-12 Network.
Well, John, since there has been television, the almost magical panorama of New Year's Day in Pasadena, California has been shown across much of the world. The San Gabriel Mountains changing colors as the sun slides toward the Pacific, and the great old arena filling to the brim with the partisan faithful. The 87th Rose Bowl game, Big Ten champion Purdue and the Pac-10 champion Washington. Purdue says they could have sold 45,000. I think they sold more than that. They're here to cheer the Boilermakers. And we're ready to play football. Vinny Sutherland is waiting to receive it along with Chris Clopton, and John Anderson kicks it off for the Washington Huskies. It's a very high kick looking up into a bright sky. Vinny Sutherland at the 14-yard line, and he'll come up short of the 20.